We're T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have the code from ready to start. 2, 1, 0. Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour with NASA's final space station crew compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
There were some clouds about 5,000 feet up, a thin layer of clouds, and as soon as the rocket engines lit up, nighttime turned into day because all the fire was reflecting off of those clouds right there you see. The shuttle was amazing. Those two big white solid rocket motors, each one of those burns 10,000 pounds a second. And the three main engines, each one of those burns 1,000 pounds a second. So the space shuttle was putting out 23,000 pounds every second. It was 11 metric tons every second. So as I like to joke, the gas mileage on a space shuttle sucks, but the top end speed's pretty good. You go from 0 to over 17,000 miles an hour in a little over 8 minutes. Launching into space is a crazy, crazy, fun, and amazing experience, not unlike launching tax season. This is what it was like to watch from a few miles away. Sound travels at 1,100 feet per second, so you can hit your stopwatch, and when you see the rockets light up, you can count how many seconds until the sound gets to you and figure out how many miles away my friends were that took this home video.
Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Tucker, don't drop that. Oh my God. Holy crap.
Wow!
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
It's a great experience. I highly recommend it if you've never seen a rocket launch. It's pretty cool. I love this picture. This is a still image of my launch. You can see it's going through those clouds. We were launching towards the moon, which was amazing. You can see the star trail, and that's how much the Earth rotates during our 8.5 minute flight into space. It's really an amazing thing to see a rocket launch, especially at nighttime. Both of my missions, I launched on this US space shuttle and the Russian Soyuz, but they both brought me here to the International Space Station. On my first flight, I actually finished building the ISS. It was the final assembly mission. And then on my second flight, a few years later, I went up with the Russians and I ended up being the space station commander. We were supposed to have a 169-day flight. It ended up being a 200-day flight because we had several cargo ships blew up, and when one of them blew up, they didn't want to launch our replacement crew until they did the safety investigation, and they didn't want to bring us home until they had a replacement crew. So it's kind of like what just happened with these Boeing astronauts that were stuck. I ended up getting stuck for a month, so it wasn't 8 months, so that was good, but it was a long time. And that lesson is very, very applicable to being an accountant or a business owner or just a human being. I mean, sometimes things happen. You might be stuck somewhere with low on supplies, i.e. COVID. So, sometimes things happen. You don't know they're going to happen. Being flexible, and like when they happen, they happen. In the Air Force, as a pilot, we had our way of dealing with emergencies: maintain aircraft control, analyze the situation, and take appropriate action. And I could talk about that for hours. But when things happen, you step back, you handle it, and then you move on. So we had that experience on board the ISS. This is a video of what it's like in space. And the biggest thing is you're floating, and that feels like you're falling because you're actually falling towards the center of the Earth. But one of the biggest things, especially on my first flight, but actually throughout all 7 months in space, keeping track of stuff is tough. I'm dealing with an IMAX movie camera here for the movie A Beautiful Planet I helped make, but you can see in the background all the batteries and camera lenses and equipment are in Ziploc bags, or they're attached to Velcro on the wall or ceiling, or they're in my pocket, or they have tethers. If you don't attach something, if you can't keep track of stuff, it's going to kill you in space. And it's the same thing doing your taxes. I mean, I have folders that I keep tax receipts and that I keep my expenses, and nobody keeps track of stuff better than accountants, that's for sure. And so I always joke, we have cargo ships coming up and cargo ships going back down to Earth. the most valuable astronaut would be an accountant, because there's so much stuff to keep track of, and it's such a detail-oriented process. When a cargo vehicle shows up full of stuff, you don't just take all the stuff out and put it away. You actually have to put it in a specific spot. You have to track each item. Everything has a line item. It's like the accountant's dream to be on the ISS when a cargo ship shows up. Or when we're done, we put all the trash in and it comes back to Earth full of trash. So we really do need detail-oriented people, and I think accounting is a great skill to have. So anybody who wants to be an astronaut, keep that in mind.